And just like that, we are back in business. Welcome back to another wild, wacky Wake 'em Up Wednesday, y'all. Who's ready to have some fun tonight? I hope you guys are ready for a good time tonight because I'm in a good mood. We got some fun topics tonight, such as a possible doomsday scenario in Seattle tomorrow. Doesn't that sound lovely? That's right. There's some people who think 6/11 is going to be the next big PSYOP event. Some people are claiming it might be an actual attack where a whole lot of people, well, let's just say they will meet their untimely demise tomorrow. That's right. All sorts of crazy predictions coming at you tonight. All that and a whole lot more. What else do we got? We got some shill exposing. I know how you guys love when I expose the shills. So I'm going to be busting some shills tonight. And to round things out, I also got some extra fun videos in store. Forgot what I was going to say. It doesn't matter. Anyway, kicking things off tonight with the first super chat of the night. We got the LaFleur Network says, what's up? You know what? I haven't done a what's up in a while. And LaFleur Network coming in with the very first super chat of the night. You know what I think? Since I haven't done one of my what's ups in a while, and I think I do the best what's up in the entire world. And tonight, being I haven't done a what's up in so long, I think I just might right here, right now, live, do the best what's up you've ever seen. How does that sound? All right, if you want me to do one of my patented, amazing, awesome what's ups, hit the like right now. That's right. If you want me to get the party started with one of the best what's ups you've ever seen in your life, everybody and their mama, hit the thumbs up right now. I haven't done one in 2 months or something, right? So this is going to be special. As you guys know, there's not a lot of people who keep the tradition of saying what's up alive. And I'm one of those guys who still does. I keep the tradition alive. So without further ado, are you guys ready to get this party started? Well then, who was it? Up. Ha. Whew. All right. Whew. Now we can get serious. Now I know some people aren't going to be able to take me serious after what I just did. Well, that's their loss. Because I happen to know that there's nobody in the world that does a what's up quite like me. And I believe I just proved just now that I still am indeed the world champion of doing the was up. And there's nobody better. That's right. All right. Whew. You guys ready to get the show started tonight? All right. There we go. Whew. All right. Nothing like a good was up to get the blood pumping on a Wednesday evening. Know what I'm saying? Doxological Thinker coming in with a super generous super chat. Says, I missed most of the stream last week, but it was so good. I watched it twice. Bro, your improv Elvis song was absolute gold. That's how you know mainstream comedy is fake and scripted, because they haven't called you yet. Yeah, man, I got lucky with the Elvis improv song, Biblical Beast of the Sea. And I had to go back and rewatch it myself to see like what I did and how I pulled that off. And then I tried to think of a way to like improve upon it so that if anybody ever asked me to do it again, I could try and recreate it. So, yeah, man, one of those things that just happens, you know? So when I go live and I'm doing this, there's moments where I fumble over my words or forget exactly what I wanted to say or whatever. And it's like, oh shit, it's live. Just got to deal with it. Oops. Right. But sometimes magical things happen, like unplanned awesomeness happens. Right. And when you got a guy like me who's capable of making some awesomeness happen, right, without the use of script writers in Hollywood and all their fancy bullshit, right? When you take a guy like me and you give me the right topic to talk about, or the right impersonation, right, at the right time, sometimes magic just happens. And somebody requested that I improvise some Elvis, and I just made it happen. I don't know. Couldn't explain it. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right. Doxological Thinker with another super chat says, also, I want to say congratulations ahead of time for correctly predicting the big nothing burger tomorrow. Thanks for the wrench too. Yeah, man, I thought you were already a mod. You donate so often to the channel. So yeah, man, no problem. And yeah, tomorrow I'm going to make my big prediction, just in case anyone doesn't know. I'm going to make my big prediction for tomorrow, tonight. That's right. You want to hear what I think is going to happen tomorrow? Well, stick around tonight and I'll tell you. Oh, yeah, you guys aren't going to believe what I think is going to happen tomorrow. It's going to blow your tits off. All right, thank you, Doxological Thinker. Trout fishing at Hood Park with a very generous donation says, can't make live stream. We'll catch replay later. Have a good show, y'all. All right. That's awesome to see the support coming in from trout fishing at Hood Park. You know, I understand people are busy. Not everyone has, 2-3 hours to listen to me rant and rave about all this shit. I totally understand that. But the awesome thing is, got some super chat support coming in, and he's going to watch the replay. So that's the next best thing. If you can't be here live, well, watch that replay and hook a brother up with a thumbs up. Leave me a comment telling me how fucking funny I am, and everything will just be fucking peachy keen. Peachy keen? Who the hell says peachy keen? God, I can't even remember the last time I said peachy keen. Here I am, live, accidentally, unscriptedly saying peachy keen. Shit. Oh. All right. I'm going to make it out like that was a joke and that I meant to say that. That's right. It was a joke and I totally meant to say peachy keen because that shit's funny. All right. Saigon 1964able with a very generous donation as well. Man, you guys are super generous tonight with the super chats. Says, thank you, Jake, for all that you do. Whoa, a layup super chat. Wow. You guys, I love it. I love the support tonight, and let's have some fun. We're going to talk about some serious truth. I'm going to bust some shills tonight, but we're also going to joke around, goof around, because, they want us to be pissed off. The media and the way it's formulated by the world stage script writers. They want us pissed off and fighting amongst each other and divided. So, I like to come on here and sometimes just have a little fun at the expense of their bullshit, which I am not buying and which I know my audience doesn't buy. This is one of the only places where we get to poke fun at the script writers' bullshit that they present to us. And this is a community of people that knows that the news is scripted and everything's fake, right? They're trying to fake us out all the time. So this is one of the only gathering places where we get to come together and feel like, we're not alone. Like there's actually other people who agree with us, right? So thank you for being here and thank you for supporting this so that we can continue to do this. Saigon, 1964able. Hell yeah. All right. And Doxological Thinker coming in with another super chat said, can you do Ass Mongold praising Neil deGrasse Tyson for his scientific eyebrows? You guys, I'm not even freaking kidding. Neil deGrasse Tyson, he might be like the smartest guy ever. I mean, seriously, have you heard him talk? Like, whenever I hear him talk, like, I'm just blown away. Like, my mind gets literally fucking blown every time I listen to Neil talk. Remember that time he was on Joe Rogan's show? That was like one of my fucking favorite episodes. Have you guys seen this? Seriously, like, what the actual TF fuck? He does those sporadic shooting eyebrows, the Asmongold. I realized when I went back and I was looking at my Asmongold impressions, I wasn't doing enough eyebrow shooting. So basically, I got to like make sure to just constantly shoot the eyebrows up real fast, right? During the whole impression. So yeah, Asmongold, he's got these very unusual fucking eyebrow flares. It's like his eyebrows are regular, and he's like, seriously, have you guys seen this? Whoa, what the fuck? Right? It's got motherfucking flare ass eyebrows. There you go. All right. Doxological Thinker coming in with some Asmongold Neil deGrasse Tyson impression action for me. All right. Awesome. Trout Fishing at Hood Park gifting 10 Jake the Awake memberships. Wow. Blowing me away tonight with the support. Big Money Bob coming in with 5 Jake the Awake gifted memberships. Stormtroop says, long time, play some bass. All right, let me go ahead and try and get this out of the way early. Hopefully I don't blow it. We're live. Fingers crossed I can pull it off. All right, we're going a cappella, not plugged in. We'll see if I can pull this off. Hey, little baby, look at me. I'm rising up like the beast from the sea. That's where I'll be in Seattle, waiting for a big old battle. Come on. There's where I'll be. Will they call me the king, biblical beast of the sea? Yes, they call me the king, the biblical beast from the sea. Hunka, hunka, baby, burning love. Hunka, hunka, baby, burning love. Come on. That's where I'll be. Oh, will they call me the king, biblical beast from the sea? Yes, they call me the king, the biblical beast from the sea. Hell, all right. There you go. Little bass for you. Biblical Beast of the Sea, which I came up with last week. So I tried to add a little bit more lyrics and alter up the bass line slightly. All right. All right. Shine on you, crazy Danielle. Says, Jake, how do we know you are real and not AI? My mind going crazy lately. Check it out. Here's how you know I'm not AI. AI is artificially intelligent, and I am actually intelligent. I'm like for real intelligent, right? There's nothing artificial about my intelligence. So check this out. Here's how you know I'm definitely not AI. Hooah! See, AI could never pull this off. AI would totally mess this up. Whoa! Right? If I was AI, it would like have too many fingers, and the fingers would be all wacky and wrong. But check it out. Whoa! These are my real fingers, right? Whoa! Whoa! Think AI could pull this shit off? Fuck no, it can't. Think AI could pull this off? Whoop, 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 whoop. What the fuck? Oh. Hell no. AI would mess that shit all up, right? Think fucking AI could pull off fucking this shit. Hell no, it couldn't. That's how you know I'm real. Yeah. All right. From now on, if anybody ever wonders if I'm using AI, all you got to do is send me a super chat and ask me to prove it, and I'll demonstrate exactly how real I am. All right. Doxological Thinker coming in with a super chat said, bro, this might be a stretch, but can you do an Asmongold parody of the What's Up song chorus? So I wake up in the morning and kiss AJ's ass. An Asmongold parody of the What's Up song chorus. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by the What's Up song chorus, but but what I can do is do some Asmongold kissing Alex Jones' ass real quick. You guys, people can say whatever they want about Alex Jones, but one thing they can't say, he was never wrong. You guys, if you go back and look, Alex Jones was freaking right about like everything he ever said. Like, he warned us about freaking Epstein, you guys. Like, we should have listened. That's why they kicked him off of InfoWars. You guys, like, he fucking warned us so long ago. You guys, we should all like kiss Alex Jones' ass right now. Let's collectively, all 2 million of us here watching now, we should all kiss Alex Jones' freaking ass. I mean, I'm not even fucking kidding. You guys, oh my God. Fuck, I forgot to do the eyebrows. Oh, I got caught up in the impression and I forgot to do the eyebrows. Damn it. I'll have to work on that next time. Forgot to shoot the eyebrows up and down. Damn it. All right. I think that's all the super chats for now. Oh, all right. Well, So you guys ready to get started tonight? And hello to all my mods tonight. Hello to all everyone who's here right now. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing good. All right. LaFleur says 250 plus in chat. We should have that many likes. Yes, everybody hit the likes right now. We're about to kick this party off. And if you got one of the gifted memberships from Big Money Bob or Trout Fishing at Hood Park, make sure to thank them. And thank you once again to Big Money Bob and Trout Fishing for hooking up those memberships. You guys are awesome. All right, without further ado, let's get this party started. So last week, we listened to a channel called Jurassic Liars, who made this prediction that tomorrow in the Seattle area in Washington state, that there's going to be a big attack of like biblical proportions. And it's going to be this major attack, a major event. And he's warning that people are going to lose their life in this event even. So I thought tonight, being that I didn't fully understand his prediction, and maybe some of you guys missed it, he has made some more live streams talking about what's going to happen tomorrow. And since it's either going to happen tomorrow or not, I figure we'll give him one more chance. We'll listen to his prediction. So the prediction is that some major catastrophe is going to go down tomorrow on 6/11. So let's go ahead and check out what Garo has to say from the channel Jurassic Liars. I tried to make sense of his prediction last week, but I couldn't quite fully understand. I get kind of what he's predicting, but not really. So I'm hoping that if we watch some of his live stream tonight, that we can figure it out. And then we'll know tomorrow whether it happens or not, whether he was right or wrong. And I'm going to make my own prediction here tonight as well. And then later on tonight, I'm going to bust a shill known as Jessie on Fire. So stick around for that. All right. So here we go. Kicking things off with some Elvis 611 Rocket Man. And this is Garo here. And he's predicting a huge event tomorrow in Seattle.
And this live stream is not going to be very fluid. Okay. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you go to the live section of this channel, and watch at least 5 to 10 of my live streams to fully grasp the magnitude of my predictions, okay, which are June 11th and August 4th, okay? And June 11th is coming up in just, 2 days here, okay? So, and what are my two predictions? Okay, it's literally the biblical beast out of the sea.
All right, these are his two predictions, all right? Literally, the biblical beast out of the sea. You know, that thing I was singing about earlier? Yeah, pay attention.
Event that's going to happen on June 11th, okay? And what is the biblical beast out of the sea? Okay, let me just tell you something. In the Bible, it says that when the beast rises out of the sea, it says that one of its heads seems to have had a deadly head wound that healed, and the world wondered after the beast, that one of the heads of the beast that had the deadly head wound and healed. So they're wondering after, they're worshiping it, right? And who is the beast out of the sea, and who's the beast that gets the head wound? It's Elvis is the beast out of the sea, and which is going to happen in Washington State on June 11th. Okay, somehow Elvis's name, his image, the number of his name comes out of that event. Okay, it's the explosion itself, or whatever this event is going to be, is the biblical beast out of the sea. One of the heads of the beast seems to have had a deadly head wound that healed. And what better beast to get that head wound than Trump, who compares himself to Elvis all the time? And when is Trump going to get that head wound? On August 4th. And that's the day Elvis, who is Satan, who I've been saying that since 2019, Elvis is Lucifer, who became Satan, and Satan is going to enter Trump on August 4th, okay?
So that's what he thinks is going to happen. So yeah, I got confused what he was talking about last week when he said that the biblical beast of the sea, Elvis, was going to come back and there's going to be an event in Seattle and Trump's going to get his head wound and the biblical beast Elvis is going to enter into Trump. I got confused. So I thought maybe this week he would explain it a little better. He would explain it differently and maybe it would make more sense. But nope. Pretty much he just explained it the exact same way as he did last time. So I was hoping he could clear up my confusion, but I think he made me even more confused. Maybe if we keep watching, he'll bring me to an understanding.
When Trump gets his head wound and is proclaimed dead and comes back from the dead. Okay. Now let's stick with what we're talking about here, which is June 11th. Washington State is going to be struck. Again, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen.
Washington State is going to be struck. Struck? I thought the biblical beast was coming back. Here's where I get confused is like, does a sea creature or does like a rotting Elvis come out of the ocean and attack Seattle like Godzilla would attack a city? Because that's what I picture. But instead, now he's saying struck, right? So now like struck. So like if they faked a nuke attack, does that count as biblical beasts from the sea? Like, can he take credit? Let's just say theoretically tomorrow there's a fake nuke attack in Seattle. Does he get to take credit for being right and be like, it was the biblical beast from the sea, just like I claimed. I told you this would happen, right? So I'm wondering what he means by struck. I wonder if he'll explain it in detail.
But somehow something horrific is going to happen on June 11th in Washington State. Now, for years, I've been talking about this North Korean dictator whose name is Kim Ding Dong.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. All right. So how many of you guys are following along with his prediction? Because that's like what this guy is known for. Like that's what this like his channel was actually named after what he just said. It's the strangest thing. Check this out. His channel's name is Jurassic Liars, Elvis Seattle 611, and Trump 840H. So he makes these two predictions about Seattle on June 11th and Trump getting a head wound on August 4th. And it's like his main thing that he talks about to the point where he named his channel with that, right? Oop, there you go. See? Jurassic Liars, Elvis Seattle 611. So this is like what he's known for. But here's the thing. He makes this prediction every year, like last year before. I don't know how long he's been making this prediction, but I know he got it wrong last year. He got it wrong the year before. So he makes this prediction every year. And then if it doesn't happen, then he just makes the same prediction the next year. But I still can't quite figure out what it is he's predicting. Every time I listen, I get more confused.
And for the people who don't know my videos, I'm talking about Kim Jong-un, the North Korean dictator, okay? But I call him I call him Kim Ding Dong, the North Korean dictator, who kind of forms himself out of Elvis. Now, why am I bringing him?
All right, so he likes to also whip out these cards and show these numbers. Here, hold on. So I'll show you. He likes to whip out the cards.
1/8, because they were both born on 1/8. 1818 is 216, which would be August 4th, the 216th day of the year, and 8181, like they say in the UK, would be 16/2, and the 162nd day is June 11th. So those are my two predictions, right? June 11th and August 4th. And you see the 216, that's his birthday, 216 or 16/2. You see it? And in 42, Elvis died at the age of 42. Okay. And I think there was a third king who looks just like the Kim. He looks like the most recent one. This dude is the third and first leader of North Korea, supposedly. Okay. But North Korea became North Korea in like, what was it, 1959 or 1950? I can't remember now.
All right. Well, yeah. Pretty much every time I try and figure out what exactly he's predicting, I just get more and more confused. And then when he whips out the cue cards, starts adding numbers in, then he starts to sound like Zach Hubbard, right? Now I got to keep track of all these freaking numbers when I'm still confused on what he means by biblical Elvis from the sea coming out and attacking Seattle somehow, and Trump getting his head wound, and the biblical beast Elvis entering into Trump. I'm still confused on that part. So then when he whips out the cue cards, then it's like, oh, shit. So anyway, congrats to anyone who can follow along. So anyway, what I have gathered is he's making a prediction that tomorrow something horrible is going to go down in Washington State, more specifically Seattle. So what I'm going to do right here live, I'm going to make a prediction of my own. I think tomorrow in Washington State, in Seattle, nothing is going to happen. That's right. I'm predicting a big, fat, juicy, nothing burger. That's right. I'm predicting right here, right now, you guys, that Seattle won't be attacked tomorrow by the biblical beast Elvis from the sea. That's right. I don't think the biblical beast is attacking Seattle tomorrow. I'm going to predict that that doesn't happen. I'm going to go the other way, right? I'm one of those guys that, like, if I see everybody picking, a football team to beat the other football team, and everybody and their mama's picking the same team and betting on the same team, I'm that guy that likes to go the other way. So right here, I'm going to go against the grain. I don't think that the biblical beast from the sea is going to attack Seattle tomorrow. That's right. I'm making this very bold prediction. It takes balls to make a prediction like that, but I got balls. That's right. That's why I'm predicting a freaking nothing burger tomorrow. Huh? So here's the cool thing. Tomorrow is going to happen soon. In fact, I think some places in the world, it's already fucking tomorrow. So the good news is one of us is going to be right and one of us is going to be wrong. He thinks that when he's right, that like everyone is going to be blown away by his prediction and he's going to be like famous and everyone's going to look at him like he's some sort of supernatural genius of sorts. Whereas like if I get it right tomorrow that it's going to be a nothing burger, probably no one's even going to congratulate me, like I'm not going to get famous. I don't think I'm going to gain any fame at all when I'm correct tomorrow. When I get it correct tomorrow, I doubt anyone's going to come and be like, congratulations, Jake, you were right. Nothing happened in Seattle. You're a fucking super genius, bro. What a great prediction. So that's the thing. Even though I'm probably going to be right, I'm not really going to get any credit for it. Garrow, on the other hand, if by chance he's right and the biblical beast Elvis comes out of the sea and attacks Seattle, holy shit, he's going to be looked at like the new god, right? Garrow will be my god. If Elvis comes out of the sea tomorrow, you guys, and attacks Seattle, Garrow is my god. Straight up. Kreger coming in with a super chat said Garrow's got a lot of shit in him. That's right. Garrow's got a lot of shit in him. Thank you, Kreger. I appreciate the super chat donation, bro. You're awesome. And I also agree with it. Deadbeat says the beast from the sea, Holy See, is the Roman Empire. It appeared to have a mortal wound, but only shifted into the shadows. How many things are being named after Roman and Greek gods now? Thoughts? I don't know, man. That's not really my area of expertise, right? So somebody out there who keeps track of that sort of thing, let us know in the chat the answer, because I don't know. I haven't taken the time to keep track of how many things. Oh. I would reckon a lot of things. All right. Thank you, Deadbeat, for the super chat, buddy. All right. We got Rex James coming in with a very generous super chat. Says, Jake, do you know of anything that will rid my that will rid my asshole of 5G? I tried Richie from Boston's vape juice, but to no avail. All right. Now, what it sounds like to me is you have a very, very serious case of nano AIDS. It sounds to me like you have full-blown nano AIDS and you are in your final days of life. But there is good news. There is a cure. And what you're going to need is you're going to need not only to vape my 100% organic Bible vape juice, but you're going to need to pair that with my organic Bible vape energy drink. All right. It's like a vape, except it's an energy drink. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to take a vape, and then you need to gonna take a sip of the energy drink. And then you need to gonna take a vape, and then you need to take a drink of the energy drink. All right. Now you're gonna need to consume at least 3.3 energy drinks a day. And you're going to need to also consume at least 6.6 of my organic Bible vape juice cartridges a day. Because again, you have a very serious case of full-blown Chinese nano AIDS. And the only way you're going to rid them from your system is by combining my very powerful organic vape with the very powerful organic energy drink. At any rate, I digress. Like, share, subscribe, or don't. It's Richie from Boston, and I'm out. There you go. Rex James. You got to double down on those vape cartridges and the energy drink, of course. Yeah, the vape alone won't do it, right? You got to pair it with the energy drink to get maximum healing effect. All right. I love these because these are like inside jokes, right? Like you got to be part of the Jake the Awake family to understand these, right? You got to have been watching the streams and keeping up to get these ones. All right. Kreger with a donation said, oh, I already read that one. All right. I think I'm caught up on the super chat donations. All right. So let's get back on track. So yeah, guys, tomorrow, when nothing happens, You don't have to come here and congratulate me, right? I know. You and I both know I'm going to be considered a super genius tomorrow after I correctly predict the nothing burger. That's right. My bold prediction. Tomorrow, Seattle will not be attacked. There shall not be a biblical beast from the sea doing anything of the sort tomorrow. No attacks on Seattle or Washington State. That's my prediction. And when I get it right, you don't have to come here and congratulate me. I already know. I already know. All right. That's enough. It's enough of that. I think if I know Garrow, he might be watching me right now. Like Garrow's probably watching the stream right now, and he's probably pissed off.
Eleven's coming next year, but I believe with all my heart and soul it's going to be this year. And
he believes. So he's streaming right now, and he just now said he believes in his heart and soul it's going to be this year. So he was wrong last year, and I'll bet you he believed in his heart and soul it was going to be last year. And I think he was wrong the year before. I don't know exactly how many years he's been wrong. Shit, he might have got it wrong 10 times in a row. I'll bet you all 10 times he got it wrong that he believed in his heart and soul that it was going to happen. So all he's got to do when he gets it wrong is be like, well, for sure it's probably going to happen next year. Because next year, 2027, that's the mark of the beast in 6/11 and August 4th, Trump's head wound, Elvis. So 2027 actually makes more sense now that I think of it. So tomorrow, when nothing happens, expect a live stream the following day on 6/12, where Garrow is going to conclude that next year on 6/11, 2027, is when he believes in his heart for sure that's when it's going to happen, right? So all he's got to do is just keep making this prediction every year until he dies, right? And that's pretty much like what this guy's whole channel is about. I mean, look, it's in the name of his channel. Imagine like your whole like channel is built off of this horrific prediction that this bad event's going to go down in Seattle. Right? Like that's like in the channel name. Every year, everyone's like, ooh, it's time to watch Garrow make his prediction again. Right? So here he is talking about it. Because, you know, tomorrow's coming quick. We're on our way to tomorrow right now.
And if neither one of my predictions happen, June 11th or August 4th, I am never doing research on this again. But if August 4th happens...
Whoa! He just said if neither one of these happen, he's never doing research on this again. No way, dude. Like you're actually going to admit that you were wrong and this was all just a waste of time? Will you admit if it doesn't happen tomorrow that this is wrong and all a waste of time? I'm sorry for wasting everyone's time. Or are you just going to skip the apology part?
I will do June 11th. Connections next year, only if August 4th happens. Because I'm done with this. No more after August 4th. I'm saying neither one of them. Because then I just don't know what they're waiting for. But it's going to happen on those days. I just don't know what they're waiting for, which year they're waiting for. It makes no sense to me then.
So here's my thing is Garrow isn't like specifically stating that they're going to fake an attack or stage an attack, right? Instead, he's acting like there's going to be some actual attack where there's going to be like real deaths that occur, like people are going to actually lose their life in this event. According to him, it's going to be that big of a deal, right? Like the king of all events, right? The king, Elvis, you know, biblical beast from the sea. Washington State, Trump's head wound. So, one of us is going to be right. One of us is going to be wrong tomorrow. We shall see. So, I'm going to put it to you guys right here, right now. What are your guys' predictions for what's going to happen tomorrow? And I'll pull them up on screen. I want to hear your guys' predictions for what you guys think is going to happen tomorrow. Kreger says, be ironic if Gero died tomorrow. Dude, if Seattle is attacked by the biblical beast of the sea and he dies on the same day, that shit would be freaking crazy, bro. That would like literally like freaking blow my mind. Like, I can't think of a crazier thing to happen than if he was right and then he died on the same day that he was right. Wouldn't that be crazy, you guys? All right. Yeah, that would be ironic. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? All right. Got Kreger with all right. So what are you guys predicting is going to happen tomorrow? Let me know what your predictions are. Bold as a lion said, someone in Seattle will buy a new pair of Birkenstocks tomorrow. That's a pretty good prediction. Pretty good odds on that. I wonder if you could get some action at the sports books on that. All right. Jason G says, guy is a lunatic. We'll find out tomorrow. He's either a super genius who's going to be proven right very soon, or he's fucking crazy, or he's lying on purpose. One of those things, or a combination of the three. Who knows? All right. All right. Subrash Hayo says, I predict on June 12th, you'll be showing his clips on what didn't happen. I don't know how much time I want to spend rubbing his nose in it tomorrow, or the 12th when it doesn't happen. I got bigger fish to fry. Probably have some other psyop to break down by then, right? It'll be old news. The nothing burger will have already happened. We'll be on to the next event, the next scripted adventure for me to break down. And we'll have to wait till next year before we talk about See, Gero's like a seasonal Santa Claus character. Like, I forget all about him until 6/11 rolls around, right? So yeah, after 6/11, when he gets it wrong, he'll go away and be forgotten about, like Santa, right? For an entire year. And the next June, he'll show up again and be like, it's going to be 2027 for sure this time. I'm positive in my heart. But see, the thing is, I'm sure that this pisses him off that I don't agree with him that this is going to happen tomorrow. And so I think if there was going to be some sort of event that was to happen, it would be staged or fake. So does he get to take credit if there's a staged event? So let's just say there's some sort of mini psyop event tomorrow, like let's say there's a shooting at the Space Needle. Does he get to take credit for that? Does that count? Like, at what point does he get to take credit for biblical beast of the sea? Like, let's say a tsunami rolls through Seattle tomorrow. Does that count as biblical beast of the sea? A big wave coming in and taking out Seattle? Does he get to be like, yeah, see, Elvis in the form of a big wave? I was right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what does he get to technically take credit for his prediction? Now, if it's a nuke attack, I don't believe in nukes, but let's just say for shits and giggles, they blew up a section of Seattle and claimed that it was a nuke attack by Iran. And they just blow up a section of Seattle. Let's say they stage a nuke attack. Does he get to take credit for that and be like, I was right, the biblical beast of the sea, right? So that's my thing, is like, if there is some sort of event, it would almost guaranteed be staged, because that's what they do. They script these events ahead of time, and then they stage them. And so if they script the news ahead of time and they stage these events, then typically nobody dies, nobody really cries, nobody really loses their lives in these events. So what he's predicting is out of the ordinary, that people are actually going to lose their lives. So I would argue that people rarely lose their lives in these scripted events, staged events that are put on. So if there is any sort of event that was to go down, I would venture to say that there's almost zero chance that they're going to have like actual casualties. It would be more of a show for the TV cameras, right? So if they were to pull off some sort of attack, it would be a staged event, and they could probably pull it off without any casualties at all. And so if that's the case, does Garrow get to take credit for that too? So just saying, there's levels to this. Now, again, my official prediction is that nothing is going to happen, a big nothing burger. I'm just saying his prediction is so strange that like you can't really say that there's any chance that Elvis coming out of the sea and attacking Seattle tomorrow is going to happen. So if some other thing happens that's not related to that at all, like if there's a shooter at the World Cup, does that count as biblical beast of the sea? Just saying is all. So there could be some event that does go down. But, you know, anyway, I think I made my point. All right. Beware of the locust said, Prince will rise from the sea disguised as his sister. All right. I think he's here, right here, unless this is someone using an account pretending to be Jurassic Liars. But this is probably him. He says, after tomorrow, you will be on your knees worshiping me. This sounds like somebody who's pretending to be Jurassic Liars. I don't know if this is the real Jurassic Liars. Hey, you know what? If he's right, then I'll worship God Giro tomorrow. I'll be the first to admit I'm wrong. See, that's the thing. If what he says happens, if like Elvis comes out of the sea, attacks Seattle, Trump gets a head wound, and Elvis, biblical beast from the sea, enters into Trump, just like he said, I will be the first to get on my knees and declare Gero my personal Lord and Savior. I will. I'm a man of my word. You heard it here. But if Gero gets it wrong, is he going to be like, you know what? I hate to admit it, you guys, but that freaking Jake the Awake guy was right. So I'm sorry, Jake the Awake. You were right. It was a total nothing burger. And I'm sorry for wasting everyone's time. Will he do that for me? I'll bet you he won't do that for me. I'm pretty sure Jurassic Liars thinks that I'm going to burn in hell for thinking that nothing's going to happen tomorrow in opposing him. So because I'm opposing his prediction and he is a Christian man, well, according to him, I'm going to burn in hell, right? Go ask him. All right. If you guys are having fun tonight, hit the thumbs up button. It's quick, it's easy, it's free, and I appreciate it. I do. I really appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up. So even if you're not watching live, if you're watching the replay, all you replay watchers, hit the thumbs up. So I want everybody who's live to hit the thumbs up, and all y'all replay watchers to hit the thumbs up as well. And then go sign into your mama's account and your granny's account. And I want you to hit the thumbs up as well on their accounts. All right. And then make multiple accounts and sign into all of them. I'm just kidding. Just playing. All right. Lemming in a shiny metal box with a donation. Glad to see you tonight, sir. Longtime supporter of the channel here. Lemming in a shiny metal box says Michael Bauer from the Wonder Years is more likely to emerge from the ocean. Bro, how many people know who Michael Bauer is? I do. And what's crazy is he has a YouTube channel and he's not famous anymore at all. And so like he only gets like a couple hundred views, barely. It's kind of sad. So he was also on Salute Your Shorts. So how many of you guys out there remember the Nickelodeon show Salute Your Shorts from the 90s about the kids at Camp Anawana, right? So it was a show on Nickelodeon about these kids who camp out at this camp with this stupid counselor. Anyway, and one of the kids who was on the show was this fat kid, and his character's name was Donkey Lips. So yeah, Michael Bauer was Donkey Lips on the Nickelodeon show Salute Your Shorts. And so he was like the token fat kid on the show. And then he was also on Wonder Years as the token fat kid. That was like what he was casted in back when he was on TV. Yes. Now I got to show a picture just in case anyone doesn't know who I'm talking about. All right. So here's Michael Bauer. This is who he's talking about from Salute Your Shorts. Yeah. I'd be more scared if Michael Bauer came out of the sea and attacked Seattle. That'd be even more freaky. Dude, The Wonder Years was a dope show. That was like one of the best sitcoms ever because it like was different. It didn't have the laugh track, and it was like a little more serious and a little more down to earth and more believable. Good show. They don't make them like that anymore. All right. Let me get rid of Donkey Lips here. All right. So let's move on from the Doomsday predictions in Seattle. It's not all doom and gloom around here. We got other stuff to talk about. We could bust some shills. Yeah, let's move along and bust some other guy. Let's roast some other dude for a while. So we're gonna move along. So I saw this this character come across my feed pushing conspiracy theory garbage, essentially, like government approved conspiracy theory propaganda. So whenever I see channels pushing stuff about Epstein or about Erica Kirk or about Bill Gates and stuff like that, that's an instant indicator that these are shill channels. At the bare minimum, they're useful idiots who are pushing government approved conspiracy theory propaganda, like made up conspiracy shit for normies. So it's becoming more and more popular for characters like Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes. And in Timcast to give the normies their conspiratainment. It's like a conspiracy theory propaganda. And so they serve up like stories about second shooters involved in Charlie Kirk's death. And oh, Erica Kirk being involved in Charlie's death. Oh, look, Erica Kirk's got a crazy look in her eye. She must be involved in Charlie's death. Oh my God, Epstein files. Whenever you see channels talking about these topics as if it's all real and legit, and they don't bring up the fact that these are scripted stories, psychological operations, if they don't bring it up from a world stage perspective like I do, that's usually a good indicator they are a shill channel, or at the very least a useful idiot pushing propaganda for clicks. So I saw this one channel that came across my feed called Jessie on Fire. I'm sure some of you guys have heard of him. And he was doing exactly what I'm talking about, pushing like Epstein shit. So one of the things you'll never see me do is like report on like Palm Beach Pete and how, oh my God, he looks like Epstein, so he must be the same guy. Ooh, boogity boogity, because it's a waste of time, because Epstein is a made-up character on the world stage as it is. So I'm not going to waste your time with talks about like a Palm Beach Pete. But there are guys out there who are making a living, essentially, wasting people's time with this conspiracy theory trash. Oh my God, Palm Beach Pete! Right? So this guy right here, Jessie on Fire. This Jessie's on fire! This Jessie's on fire! He's got 622,000 subscribers. He's got the check mark. Right? He gets thousands of thumbs up talking about these conspiracy theories made for normies and sheeple, right? So he'll talk about like Palm Beach Pete. He totally looks like Epstein. You guys, it's Epstein. Oh my God. Right.
So I just got done watching an episode of, you know what, let me actually show you. Actually, I changed my mind because I don't want to tell you what I'm referencing because it's so compelling that you won't watch this video. And I want you to watch this video first. So the last minute of this video is going to be something that you absolutely 100% have to go watch after this. And it's not my video. But right now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this appearance that Palm Beach Pete made on TMZ.
We're going to take a look at Palm Beach Pete on TMZ. Now, this guy will get way more views than me. And when you look at how like he opens up a video, he's going right to the fucking propaganda, the conspiratainment, government approved conspiracy propaganda bullshit, right? This is for normies. Epstein stories, Palm Beach Pete looking like Epstein. That's for fucking sheeple. Sheeple who are too stupid to know what the world stage is all about. People that are too stupid to know that Epstein is a made-up character on the world stage. And all that stuff that supposedly went down on his island. Yeah, that's shit that they can make up. You wouldn't even know who the guy was if they didn't tell you who he was on television. So the only way you find out about this character is by the mainstream media telling you who he is and what he did, right? Nobody you know has ever seen Epstein with their own two eyes on his island doing anything illegal with anyone underage. No one's ever seen Epstein on his island with their own two eyes doing anything illegal, right? But they're convinced that the TV is giving them the inside scoop on this character and all his evil deeds. So this is conspiracy theory trash for normies. That's why I never covered it on my channel. That's why my channel doesn't have Epstein shit. In fact, I made a video explaining why I don't give a flying fuck about the Epstein shit. And you know what? I got 7,000, like 6,000 views. Got buried. It got buried. And you know what? There were even people who would criticize me and say, I'm unsubbing. You don't care about the women and the children that got abused, right? So if I tell you the real truth that it's a fucking made up character, people are like, I'm unsubbing. I can't believe you don't care about the women and children that got abused on Epstein's Island. I'm out of here, man, right? Meanwhile, this is how these grifters get the fucking views. They're like, oh my God, this Palm Beach Pete guy looks like Epstein, right? So that's what's fucked up, is that like the simple truth that like, yeah, this is made up shit that doesn't matter and doesn't affect your life. And the real devious crimes, they're not going to fucking tell you about it on the news and catalog it in some files that they show the normies on TV. But this is like this guy's main grift. Oh my God, Epstein files. Ooh, Palm Beach Pete. You guys, we gotta check this out. Palm Beach Pete looks like Epstein. Oh, this is a big deal
that I had not seen, and it is unreal, like really unreal. And you'll get to see the TMZ guys start to really to scratch their head and go, wait, explain that again. And this is 2 months ago, before people figured out the comparison between the teeth, the ears, you know, the stutter, all of those things that indicate that it really, you know, high probability that it is actually Epstein with a nose job, but neither here nor there. Okay.
High probability. He's saying that Palm Beach Pete is Epstein. Meanwhile, in 2 seconds, I can be like, okay, Epstein is some made up shit. Never heard of the guy when I was a kid. Never heard of the guy until the TV started talking about him and told you about what he supposedly did on his island with all these other celebrities and elitists. And because everyone's a bunch of fucking TV watching sheeple mostly, they're like, ooh, they're dishing up the dirt on what these evil celebrities do behind doors. Give me more. Give me more. Oh, did you hear about what happened in the Epstein files? Ooh, I'm learning all the details about what went on behind closed doors with all those evil elites. Yeah, right. As if evil elites are going to commit crimes behind closed doors and have all their evil, devious crimes cataloged and put into these files. And then these files saved and then shown to the normies on the nightly news so that you can be aware of all the bad stuff that these bad guys did. Because you deserve to know, because you're such a great audience. Come on, man. So, anybody you see pushing the Epstein shit, anybody, that's it, man. They're either a useful fucking idiot or a fucking shill. Straight up. No two ways about it. And so there's channels out there. I know some of you guys, you give them a pass. Some of you guys watch these channels and you give them a pass, like, oh, well, just because Jessie on Fire, like, thinks that Epstein is Palm Beach Pete. Well, he tells other truth, though. There's other stuff that he tells the truth of. It doesn't matter if he's pushing this. Then that means he's pushing government-approved conspiracy propaganda. That's why I don't do it. That's why I don't get good views. You know, my videos about Trump being AI tank. Meanwhile, this motherfucker can be like, Erica Kirk has crazy eyes. I think she probably most likely killed her husband. You'll get a ton of views if you say that.
So we're going to get into it right this second together. Okay. So this is a 5-minute interview and it's titled, Palm Beach Pete says he won't change his style to look less like Albert Einstein. You know what I mean? So enjoy. And by the way, I just recognized that I was not subscribed to TMZ Clips. We're going to change that right now.
So here he just promotes TMZ Clips. He says, I was not subscribed to TMZ Clips. So I'm going to do that right now. So he just promotes to his 600,000 subs. I'm subscribing to TMZ right now.
And it would be very helpful if you guys would subscribe to the channel because you know what I'm.
And it would be very helpful if you subscribe to the channel. So he literally just fucking promoted TMZ. because they're going to talk about Palm Beach Pete. He just sucked off TMZ. Oh, you should go subscribe to TMZ. You guys, I just subscribe to TMZ. You should go subscribe to TMZ too, because they're going to talk about Palm Beach Pete. He looks like Epstein, and I think that it's the same guy. Oh yeah, he totally deserves way more views than me. I'm just fucking jealous. Guess I'm just a jealous motherfucker. For pointing this out. Right? Just jealous I don't get as many views. That's why I got to take the time out of my day to point it out, because I'm so pissed off and triggered. I want to bury my content. Makes me not motivated. Meanwhile, this guy can just be like, Epstein and Palm Beach Pete, you guys. Subscribe to TMZ. Just print some money. Blah.
Notice lately is when people are subscribing to a video, that is basically my hype button. When you have over 500,000 subscribers, the hype button goes away. But if people are hitting subscribe, that's what makes a video go. And this is one that would be great for everybody to help out. All right, let's rock and roll.
Talk to us about how this
Day-to-day
national scandal has impacted your life.
Sure. Well, I was prepared for it.
By the way, if anybody doesn't know who this is Palm Beach Pete, who went viral. He's been on Jimmy Kimmel. He's been all over the internet doing podcasts.
Went viral. You guys know how that goes when you go viral. That's because they let you go viral, and there's money being put into place to promote a person in order to go viral. Then they got to tell you and have all these channels and the news tell you that this is going viral in order for you to realize and know that it's going viral, right? And it just so happened, and he was on Jimmy Kimmel. All because he looks like the Epstein guy. So much so, people think it is him in plain sight. And oh my God, what a big deal. Meanwhile, here I am like, it's made up shit. Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck about Palm Beach Pete. I don't give a fuck about Epstein because it's made up shit, right? I've been pointing out that it's made up shit for a long time. So to see channels like all these years later, like still grifting on these topics. Oh my God, this guy kind of looks like Epstein a little bit with plastic surgery, kind of. Oh yeah, totally.
Because everybody's like, you look exactly like, you look exactly like this guy right here. Whoops, this guy, and he's been running around, and basically that's his shtick. But then if you look very closely, as we'll talk about here, in my opinion, I think it's 99% it is him.
See, so he literally thinks that's Jeffrey punking everyone in plain sight. Then he goes on to do his little 666 hand sign.
Supposed Epstein corpse, that came from the prison morgue right after, he died, which subsequently, like the whole internet has, been alerted to the fact that the ear on said corpse.
Watch.
When we say compare the teeth. And
so right here, he's going to compare the teeth of Jeffrey and Palm Beach Pete. Like he's going to really dive in. Like, let me show you proof, you guys. This is like serious proof that Epstein and Palm Beach Pete, because you compare the teeth, you guys, they're exactly the same. See, so he's like going to these great lengths to get you to like buy into the story that Palm Beach Pete is Jeffrey. But he doesn't say anything about all of it being fake bullshit made up, right?
People are like, oh my gosh, man, they don't even look the same. Okay. Here, let me move this over so you're not looking at two of my face. All you do is you look at the positioning in the mouth. One on this side and one on this side. are pushed forward. Number 2 is pushed back. Okay. Number 3 is forward on both. Number 4 is a little bit more forward on this one, but still forward on this one because this one is many years later.
Yeah. See, if I tell you that the president is AI, the video gets fucking buried and tanked. But this dude can come out and be like, look at these teeth right here. Palm Beach Peter Epstein. Oh my God, look at the teeth, right? And people are like, oh yes, this is the most important information I've learned in a long time. Thank you, Jessie on Fire, for enlightening me. Thank you for exposing these evil P-doos, Jessie on Fire.
6 years later, and he's probably been doing Invisalign. It takes a while to fix that stuff, right? But then the next one, again, 6 is backwards. I'm sorry, 5 is backwards, and then 5 is backwards again, and then 6 is forward, and 6 is forward. It is ridiculous. I mean, the only way that someone could blow this off is if they're like, I can't verify whether those are actually Epstein's teeth and Palm Beach teeth. And that's fine. That I will accept that as the, I will accept that all day. They're like, what?
And so this dude, I don't understand, 600,000 subscribers. And then all of his content is like conspiracy theory garbage that you would never see me cover. You know, the Carmelo Anthony. Oh my God, Carmelo Anthony. He his sentence knocked me out of my seat. See, he'll fucking cover Erica Kirk shit. See, he does this type of content. The biggest Erica Kirk scandal just took a wild turn. Erica Kirk crashes out after new romance story goes viral. See, that's just trash right there. Like if you have those thumbnails right there, like if that's your style, that's not a real truther. That's not somebody you can trust, right? Erica Kirk, you guys. Oh my God. She was involved in a scandal. Let me show you a thumbnail with Erica Kirk's crazy eyes. And then they insinuate she must be involved with her husband's death, you guys. She's involved in a big scandal because she's got crazy eyes. Look at the thumbnail of Erica Kirk's crazy eyes. I've seen it so many times, it's fucking pissed me off, right? Ooh, let me clickbait my audience real quick with some Erica Kirk crazy eyes in the thumbnail. It's like she's an actor making crazy eyes on purpose so that dumb fucks will think that she killed her husband. Yeah, there's a bunch of dumb fucks who fall for this. Charlie Kirk died via her Erica Kirk being involved in some sort of plot, right? They fall for that just because she looks crazy. She looks evil and guilty. Like, that's the whole reason that the character was created. The whole reason this Erica Kirk character exists with the evil face and the evil eyes is to trick the morons who watch Candace Owens and listen to these Jimmy Dore conspiracies about second shooters and Erica Kirk being involved. All they got to do to trick people into believing that and accepting the premise that Charlie's dead. Oh, if you don't believe the mainstream story, well, now we got this other alternative story where Charlie's dead and Erica's involved. And look, she's got crazy eyes. So then you have these type of channels who push that sort of thing. See? Look at that look in her eyes. This looks bad. Crash out. Oh my God. So this is what I call government approved conspiracy theory propaganda, right? Erica's involved in some evil shit. You can tell by that look in her eye. See, so look, I can make evil eyes, right? I can do some evil eyes right now. I wasn't involved in Charlie's death. Okay. I don't know why people think I was involved in Charlie's death. See, now watch. Now I can turn them off and be like, I'm not involved in Charlie's death, you guys. That's crazy. Right? Evil eyes? No evil eyes. Evil? Not evil. See, that's how easy it is to turn it off and on. I can sit here and be like, what's up, dudes? What's going on, man? I'm feeling so good right now, man. All right. Or I can have evil Erica Kirk eyes. I swear I had nothing to do with my husband's death. Oh, Jake must be involved. I saw his evil eyes. I'm going to put him in a fucking thumbnail. You guys, did you see Jake's evil eyes? That's how you know he's probably lying about not being involved in Charlie's death. You guys, did you hear the latest conspiracy theory? Jake was involved in Charlie's death. Did you see the fucking evil eyes? I don't think I've ever seen a more evil look than in Jake's eyes during that live stream. That's how you know he's probably lying. Jake and Erica Kirk are secret lovers. I am not secret lovers with Erica Kirk, and anyone who thinks so is out of their minds. Well, that settles it. Jake must totally be involved with Erica Kirk. Did you see how freaking evil he sounded when he said that just now? You guys, I'll bet you some of you guys could make content about how evil I look right there and then tie it in to me and Erica Kirk being a secret couple. And I'll bet you could get views doing that. You could be like, look at this crazy guy, Jake. Look how crazy he is. Look at the look in his eye. You know who else looks crazy? Erica Kirk. So therefore, they must be secret lovers who teamed up to take out Charlie on behalf of Israel. Makes sense. Makes total sense, you guys. Right? All right. I'm sorry I had to go off on this crazy eye thing. It's not just this Jessie on Fire guy. So many channels are still milking the fucking like Erica Kirk. And the first thing they have is like in the thumbnail, her eyes just like shoved right in the screen. Right? All right. Got a super chat coming in from Lint Away Duck Cleaning. Said, you deserve millions of subs, Jake. Well, you know, I've accepted that that's probably not going to happen, but you know, what can I do? So at least I can, you know, get it out of my system and talk about it here tonight with you guys. And remember, this is a comedy show. We're here having fun, right? So you guys see me now. My eyes aren't evil right now, right? I'm smiling. Everything's good. We're cool. But maybe I'm actually evil and I'm in a team with Erica Kirk and we're going to plan an attack. Or maybe I'm just kidding around. Maybe I'm just bullshitting. Maybe I have the ability to go from dude who's just kidding to evil genius plotting an attack. Right. Sorry. Can't stop myself. But really, that's how easy it is for somebody to just, you know, pretend to be crazy. All right. Lint Away Duct Cleaning says you deserve millions of subs. And I agree. That's why I read it twice. Oh, also, Lint Away. Last stream, I ended the stream just as you sent a final super chat. So right when I ended the stream and then I saw that you sent the super chat, I felt bad. And so I apologize, sir. I did see your super chat come in and I felt bad that like I ended the stream right when it popped up. So sorry for missing the final super chat in the last stream. You snuck that one in the last second just before I hit the end button. So thank you, sir, for your all your donations and all your support of the show. I appreciate it. And I hope you had a wonderful day of cleaning lint today. All right. LaFleur says over 420 plus in the live chat room. Shout out to everyone here participating. This is your #1 truther source right here on YouTube. Hit the like button. That's right. Hit the like button. We're having some fun here. All right. There's a whole lot of doom and gloom out there. So here, I like to bring you the news, but I also like to put a smile on your face if I can. I like to make people laugh, do something out of the ordinary that you might not be expecting. So if you enjoyed this stream at all tonight, hook a brother up with a thumbs up. And LaFleur, I appreciate your longtime support, sir, and your constant positivity. Without guys like you, it wouldn't be the same. You know, you're part of the Jake the Awake family here, you guys. Davey D, always supporting the channel with positivity. I appreciate that. Davey D. And guys, go check out Davey D's channel. He makes content as well. And he's having a tough time getting love from the algorithms. So go check out some of his content and see what you think. And Lint Away with another super chat says, I've been following you since 2022, 2023. Best YouTuber. Oh, thank you, man. Well, that's not that long. You know, there's people who've been following me since the Flat Earth Asshole days, right? So I started the channel as Flat Earth Asshole 2016 and started by talking about the Earth not being a globe and NASA faking space missions. And then after years of doing that, I changed the channel name to Jake the Asshole because I wanted to branch out, start talking about more topics, and the Flat Earth subject was being censored and channels being hidden and shadow banned who were talking about Flat Earth. So I wanted to talk about other subjects, and I didn't want my channel to be known as strictly a Flat Earth channel. So I changed it to Jake the Asshole. And it was Jake the Asshole for a number of years. And then there were people who said, you know, I have a hard time sharing your channel, Jake, because it's called Jake the Asshole and it instantly turns people off. And so there were people who asked if I could possibly change my name. And plus I thought because my name had a cuss word in it here on YouTube that possibly I was getting held back in the search results. So I thought possibly I could change the name Jake the Awake to, or Jake the Asshole to Jake the Awake, just change asshole to some other word and possibly get more love from the algorithm, more love from the search results, and make my name or make my channel more shareable to people's friends and family, right? So if you want to recommend one of my videos to your grandma, you can be like, here's a video from Jake the Awake, grandma. Instead of being like, hey, grandma, check out this video from Jake the Asshole. I don't want to watch no asshole. I don't like assholes, right? So because I thought it would help, but once I made the change and now that I've had the name Jake the Awake for, I don't know, a couple of years now, however long it's been, I haven't noticed that much of a change. And so I thought maybe the search results would help or more people would share the channel. I don't know, but it hasn't really seemed to have changed much. So anyway, so that's the story of how the channel became Jake the Awake and it started as Flat Earth Asshole. All right. And big thanks to all those who've been rocking with me for a decade. There are people who still follow me that have been supporting this channel for a decade. So anybody here who goes back to the Flat Earth Asshole days, thank you for rocking with me for a decade. For those of you who don't know, this channel is an OG YouTube channel, right? Channels who've been around for longer than 10 years, putting out content. I consider to be like the OG YouTube channels, right? I wasn't one of like the first YouTubers, but I've been around for a full decade putting in content here on this channel. So I'm not one of these Johnny come latelys sitting in my car bitching and complaining, which I'm getting sick of, right? I don't know how many of you guys see your your feed get littered with people complaining in their car, right? I understand shit sucks right now, but that doesn't mean that like a bunch of people should take to YouTube and sit in their car and bitch, and that like all those channels should be rewarded. And that seems to be what happens. It's just like video after video now, guy sitting in his car bitching and complaining, no cutaways, no editing, just a dude bitching in his car about how much shit sucks and how expensive rent is. That seems to be becoming the norm, right? So I'm trying to stay away from that type of content, even though I see it happening more and more. But I see this platform like starting to become like doom and gloom, right? Negativity is what gets the views now. I try and think of like a positive way to carry on and get views. And it's tough. It's tough to make content about negative shit going on in the world, but try and stay positive. Like, I don't want to be a doom and gloomer, but if I'm going to talk about the scripted news, that's not really shit that's going to put people in a good mood. So I got to try and figure out a way to like tell people the bad news without being doom and gloomy. So it's a challenge to like not be doom and gloomy in an age where like that's like what most people are doing right now. Anyway. Toma says the earth is flat. That's right. Earth is flat, and that is that. Now, how big it is and how much land there really is, that I don't know. I feel like I'm a barnyard animal caged in, right? So it's like it costs so much money to travel. So who do you know that has enough money that can buy a big ass boat and then take the time to like go travel around and see what's really out there, right? Like what would happen if you try and go check out the North Pole and see what's there, right? Like, is there a big magnetic rock? Is there Mount Meru? Is there a big hole in the earth where the oceans go into and get recycled? Like, what is at the North Pole? And then what is beyond Antarctica? Is there a such thing as beyond Antarctica? And the sad thing is they have us basically caged in, like I was talking about, like a barnyard animal. So I'm stuck here in California, right? And it's super expensive to travel. Like just even traveling locally in my car is getting super expensive. So in order to go traveling internationally is super expensive. So they make it like almost completely unaffordable to just go check this place out and see what's really happening elsewhere, right? So only like the privileged, the wealthy, lucky people get to like travel the world and really check things out, really get to know what's going on, right? And you can travel to other places, but they have rules. You know, you got to get permission to leave the country. You have to get a visa, and there's a time limit on how long you can stay and all that stuff. So the thought of actually like, you know, traveling and seeing what else is out there and exploring this world on your own, it's basically impossible when you think about it for the average person. So then you have to come to grips with the fact that you're stuck like me, like a barnyard caged animal, and you're never going to figure out exactly what this place is. You're never going to figure out how far it goes. How far does the horizon really go? Is there an end? Is there a dome? That's the sad thing. Is like the questions that I have, I can't find the answers to, and there's no way for me to figure it out. So the earth being flat's one of those things that like it'll always bother me that I'll never be able to have my Truman Show moment where my boat bangs into the wall and I figure it out for sure. And I get confirmation that I was right all along. Knowing I'm going to die here in this country like a caged animal, most likely. Or I can escape to another country. But basically, I'm never going to get to truly figure out what this place really is, right? Hopefully, it will be revealed to me when I die. That's what I'm hoping, is when I die, it's finally revealed what the hell this all was, what this was all about. That'll suck if they don't reveal what this all was when you die, right? Wouldn't that suck? You just like automatically wake up screaming and crying coming out of a woman's vagina, and you're like, oh shit, it never got revealed to me what all this was about, and now I got to do this again. Son of a bitch. Wah! Right? That would suck. All right. What do you guys think about all that? Seer says Stallone as a nigger. Stallone as a nigger?
Hey, you know, one of my favorite actors in Hollywood movies, is always Arnold, because, like, we were both, making Hollywood movies at the same time. I didn't have time when I was working, but I recently, I went back and I watched a lot of Arnold's movies. It really, absolutely made a lot of great entertainment. That is why I always watch the Rocky movies to get me pumped up. The only way I was able to get pumped up is by listening to the Rocky theme. There's something when I listen to the Rocky theme, I can feel the goosebumps, and I can feel myself getting all pumped up. That's when I inject myself with the chemical concoction, and that is when I truly feel pumped up. And then I get down to the chopper, and that is while we have the Rocky theme and the chopper and it's flying, and when I say get down, and then we get down, and then all right. All right. That's enough of that. All right. Lintaway says thoughts on North Korea. So I did a video on that a long time ago. So if you've been following the channel since like 2022, I think I did a video in like 2021 or 2022, somewhere around there, about North Korea not really being a real country, and Kim Jong-un and his army not being a real threat. So I actually did a video on that years ago. So I might even be able to show a little bit of it right now. In fact, let me see if I could just hop over to my channel and find it real quick. Oh, here it is. All right.
Women are crying at his feet. It's really hard to know how much of this devotion is real.
여도 방어대는 밤중앙에 뜨락과 있다 있는 동해 관문의 전처기지이며 섬초소 군인들은 저국 수호의 맨 앞장에 서 있는 운전 보초병이라고 하시며 크나큰 영광과 행복을 안겨주시는 경의하는 최고 사령관 동지께 뜨거운 감사의 인사를 드리는 국민들입니다. 징그러신 그의
Like all the shots of his army are laughable. Like, and we're supposed to take this guy seriously, or we were ever supposed to take him seriously as a threat. It's just funny. We go look at North Korea and their army, and it's just a bunch of like ridiculous shit that doesn't look scary at all.
현대전의 양상에 맞는 호련, 실전 환경에 접근된 훈련을 하도록 이끌어주신 경례는 최고 사령관 동지의 용도가 있어 우리 인민군대의 전투력은 백방으로 다져지고 있습니다.
Holy shit, you guys. Have you guys seen this? These these freaking North Korean soldiers, they're seriously scary. Like, these guys look like way more skilled and trained than like the freaking Navy SEALs. I can see why so many people are afraid of North Korea. You guys, these North Korean soldiers, they're not fucking around. Like, they mean business. Have you guys seen this?
백두산의 폭풍과도 같이 백두산의 번개와도 같이 단숨에 정치를 타고 앉아 원수들을 모조리 쓸어버릴 수 있게 튼튼히 준비된 우리 인민군대를 당할 자 이 세상에 없습니다.
These guys look seriously freaking scary. I would hate to go to war against these guys. That's why North Korea is like such a threat, you know? Like, we better hope that these guys like don't nuke us. You guys, I don't want to admit this, but sometimes like I have these dreams, like they're freaking nightmares where North Korea like nukes America. And then I wake up scared. It's freaking crazy.
경의하는 최고 사령관 동지께서는 전투훈련을 더욱 강화하여 모든 전투원들을 정찰, 침투, 습격, 파괴 등 그 어떤 어려운 전투 임무도 훌륭히 수행하는 만능 병사, 다병종화된 싸움꾼들로 준비시킬 때 대한 법을 지시하셨습니다. 조선인민군 제525 군
So yeah, when you go look at the footage of the North Korean army, it's pretty laughable, right?
최고 사령부가 찍어주는 좌표들마다에서 빛나는 군공을 세우고 경례는 최고 사령관 동지께 승리의 보고를 삼가 드리겠다고 교리다지는 전투원들 펄펄 나는 싸움꾼들로 벅쓰게 준비되었습니다. 투쟁이 나온 파란산 결실이라고
helicopter and did some barrel rolls. Holy cow. And then there he is watching the whole thing from his office. Sure, I believe that. Like, hey, let me grab my binoculars and take a closer look. Oh yeah, I like what's going on out there. Looks good to me. And at this point, Kim Jong is kind enough to take us through a wonderful tour of the Karate Chopping Institution Training Center and Facility, where they, of course, teach them how to do why-all and what-alls, as you can see here. If you were to lose your gun and your knife and be stranded in Korea and then have to do hand-to-hand combat with these guys, you can see just how strong they are. I mean, look at these guys. This dude right here can punch through these banners. And then this other guy, you can throw a stone at him and it doesn't even faze him. I mean, you can pick up a big old rock and toss it and it doesn't even hurt these guys. This guy's using his fingers to poke some light bulbs. This guy's twisting himself around in a rope or something. I mean, obviously, these guys are some tough dudes. These are not the type of guys you want to be doing hand-to-hand combat with. And of course, my favorite part is when this one guy puts his hand over the concrete slab and then this other guy chops an axe into the guy's hand, which then breaks the concrete. Very useful in times of war. Extremely useful. So obviously, as you have just witnessed, North Korea is a huge military and nuclear threat.
All right, so there you go. If you want to go check this video out in full, this is from 2018. Wow, 8 years ago. So I was off by a few years. So I thought I made this in 2021 and I was totally wrong. 8 years ago, January 24th, 2018. So yeah, that's why you missed it. And see, look, guys, I used to get good view counts, right? They used to actually like let me tell the truth and poke fun and actually get a good view count, right? 59,000 views. That's solid, right? 751 comments. That's good engagement. So they used to hook a brother up, right? But if I was to make a video like this again, I'd be lucky to get 5,000 views. It would probably tank. Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. There you go. There's some thoughts on North Korea. All right. So let me get back to busting some shills real quick. And let me show you another example of what I've called a shill for many years, but there's still some people who they refuse to admit that this guy's a shill. It's going to piss some people off. There's always a handful of people who get mad whenever I call out Eric Dubé. There's still people who are like, no, Eric's legit, man. It's like, really? Is he? Because here's how easy it is to prove Eric's not legit. Eric's every bit as bad as Jessie on Fire.
In 2026, it feels like conspiracy researchers have been vindicated with the release of the Epstein files. Now, it's mainstream that there was a Rothschild Israeli Jewish agent who lured rich, powerful people to his private island where he trafficked illicit and illegal things.
There you go. So the first 33 seconds of his video, he comes right out of the gate and says conspiracy researchers have been vindicated. And then he goes on to talk about the Epstein shit, the government approved conspiracy theory propaganda. So here's Eric saying conspiracy researchers are vindicated now that the Epstein files have come out. Yeah, there's no excuse you can make for Eric right here. He's literally claiming that the Epstein stuff is real and that conspiracy researchers are vindicated. And he literally states it right out of the gate, very slowly, almost so slow that it seemed like it was an AI Eric. How do we know it's not an AI Eric at this point? I would argue that this could be AI Eric. Listen to how slow the cadence is. And we never see him on camera actually saying any of this, especially not anymore. The guy never does a live stream like I'm doing right now. So how do you even know this is the real Eric Dubé who makes these videos and posts these videos? And how do we know this isn't like a AI version of Eric?
In 2026, it feels like conspiracy researchers have been vindicated with the release of the Epstein files. Now, it's mainstream that there was a Rothschild.
Now it's mainstream that there was a Rothschild who was also involved with Jeffrey Epstein at his island, right? But, you know, the people who've been watching Eric Dubé for years, they'll just give him a pass or they'll agree with him. Yes, you're right, Eric. We've been vindicated. All of us conspiracy researchers who just watch Eric Dubé videos and pick our butt, we got vindicated when the Epstein files came out on TV. Yes, Eric, when the Epstein files came out on TV, we were all vindicated. Sure, buddy. See, so this is proof Eric is no different than Jessie on fire, pushing fucking Epstein as Palm Beach Pete shit, right? But people give Eric a pass for years. Every time I call out Eric and show proof that he's a fucking script reading shill, or even possibly AI at this point. Is there even an actual live Eric Dubé? Right? How would you know? So anyway, I see example after example of these big channels pushing these same government approved conspiracy theory propaganda topics. The Epstein one is like the main one, right? All right. All right. So anyway, I think I talked about the stuff that I wanted to talk about. So at this point, we can just do some open chat, talk about whatever you guys want. Sometimes I get carried away, ranting and giving my opinion on all these different topics and whatnot. And so, at least in this stream, we have some time here. I think it's important that I just talk to you guys, just talk to my audience and pull up some comments. So right now I'm going to try and give you guys my attention and talk about whatever the hell you guys want. So any statements that you want me to see, now's the time to post them. So when I'm showing a video or ranting and raving, I can't read and pay attention to what's going on in chat. So I miss most all of it. But now that I'm paying attention to you guys, now is your time to get my attention. So what do you guys want to talk about? Kelly Yamaguchi says, is it me or Erica Kirk is changing slow key? I think you mean slowly. She's changing slowly. I haven't really noticed. Whenever I see Erica Kirk in a thumbnail, I get pissed off and click away. Click not interested, right? So the last time I saw her like in a video was when she was leaving the White House dinner, and she was in a quick little video clip pretending to cry, and she's like, I just want to go home, Mom. She's like walking by. So I haven't noticed any changing. What is it that's changed that you noticed? Uncle Remus says, talk about kicking Gero and Trump's ass. Oh, well, I'm not going to kick anyone's ass. I made a prediction that tomorrow Seattle won't get attacked and there won't be a gigantic psychological operation, and it's going to be a big nothing burger. And so we'll see who's right and who's wrong, whereas Gero is predicting that a bunch of people are going to die, and it's going to be a horrific event that happens in Washington State of biblical proportions. So we'll see who's right and who's wrong. And then, if he's right, I'll gladly apologize. And if I'm right, I'm sure he won't apologize, but that's okay. And then we'll move on with our lives. Nobody's ass needs to be kicked. However, if you're talking about me, I don't know if you know this, but I have a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Taekwondo. So there's no way this Jake the Awake character could ever kick my ass in a million years. It would never happen. I don't know if you guys know this, but one time Creepy Joe, he tried to kick my ass, and it didn't end well for him. There was a few weeks where nobody heard or saw Joe for a while. It was because he was healing up. We had ourselves a little tussle, and I like to think I showed him who was boss. That's why you never see Joe Biden talking about kicking my ass. It's because we already had a little tussle. I already kicked his ass. So you won't be seeing Joe say anything about kicking my ass. And you won't be seeing this Jake the Awake character talking about kicking my ass. That's because I'm the toughest president that you've ever seen. In fact, there's no president that's greater at kicking ass than me. I'm the. No, that's enough. All right. All right. That was getting ridiculous. All right. Deadbeat said the angle of the dangle is equal to the cubic of the pubic. Well, thank you, Deadbeat. That makes sense, actually. That makes a lot more sense than what Jurassic Liars is talking about. I can understand about some dangle and some angle and some cubic and some pubic, know what I'm saying? But I'm still having trouble figuring out how the biblical beast from the sea is going to give Trump his head wound and then enter into him or some shit. I guess we're going to find out one way or the other tomorrow what's going to happen. Anybody who lives in Seattle or the suburbs of Seattle, anyone near Seattle, you guys can be the eyes on the ground for me. You guys can inform me tomorrow and let me know if anything goes down. So you guys can be the first ones to let me know, right? You guys can be like the inside reporters, report back to me and tell me if anything goes down tomorrow. Holden says, Jake, I feel bad the government pulled the rug on you from your prediction last week. What do you mean pulled the rug on me from my prediction last week? I made the prediction that nothing was going to happen in Seattle last week, and I made the same prediction again this week. Lint Away Duct Cleaning says, do you think more Spurs fans get attacked tonight? It looked like a bunch of hoodlums just out looking for trouble. Just young fucking hood rat, hoodlum ass, shitty people who weren't really even Knicks fans. They were just looking to start trouble. So there's certain people in certain areas who will look for any event or any reason where they can cause violence and chaos and hurt people and break into places and loot and start fires and turn cars over and break windows and all that shit. So there's just people who will look for any reason to destroy public property, and they have hired agitators to do that as well. You know what I mean? And that gives the police reason to come in and take over an area and whatnot. So it's all a bunch of bullshit, and I stay away from all of it, and I'm sick of seeing it. Whenever I see the videos about rioters and stuff like that and all these hoodlums, jumping up and down on cars, I'm just like, to hell with all of them. I wish somebody would run them all over for real. I wish the Killdozer would come back to life. You guys remember the Killdozer story? I wish the Killdozers would come back to life and run over each and every one of these pieces of shit who goes out in the street and jumps up and down on cars and destroys public property over a scripted sporting event or any event, really, right? So yeah, all these hoodlums who look for any reason to cause chaos out in the streets, I wish the fucking Killdozer would run their ass over. Sadly, that won't happen. Isn't it sad that the killdozer won't come back to life and run over all these hoodlums? That is sad indeed. Of all the atrocities in the world, one of the biggest atrocities is that the killdozer won't come back and run over all these hoodlums. That's for damn sure. All right. New Tartarians with a very generous donation says, hello, Sir Jake. Late again this week for your kick-ass YouTube stream. So this is just for throwing you a honorable super chat layup. Much respect as always. Hey, thank you very much for the super easy layup super chat, sir. It is greatly appreciated. I appreciate all the super chat love, no matter how big, no matter how small. I know not everybody can afford to donate big amounts. And so if somebody sends me a small amount, I appreciate all the super chats of all different sizes. And so I try and treat everybody equally who's donating here, and appreciate each and every super chat that comes in, whether it's a layup super chat like the one I'm reading here, or a impression request, or one that doesn't have any message at all. I appreciate all of them. You guys, all the super chats go to keeping me afloat and helping keep all this going. Without you guys supporting this, I wouldn't be able to do this week after week after week for all this time. And, we've been running and doing this for a long time, and it's one of the hardest things to do is to keep something going. If you think about keeping a show going, it really is super hard to keep any sort of show going, because all shows at some point, get old, and the audience get old, and people's tastes change. So for those of you guys who've been rocking with me for years, or 10 years even, thank you from the bottom of my heart for rocking with me. Out of all the things you could be watching, out of all the channels you can watch, thank you from the bottom of my soul for watching this channel and supporting me, the real truth. All right. Hell yeah. Nathaniel Arias with a super chat said, what's the chance something major happens during the World Cup or right before the 4th? There is a Russian band called Little Big that has a song called Lolly Bomb. It makes fun of Kim and North Korea. Well, I will say that right now the news cycles seem to be pretty slow. Like, there's psyops that are going on right now, but like most of the psyops right now are kind of boring. Like, there's not like one major story that's dominating. And so this kind of feels like a calm before a possible storm. So if something was to go down tomorrow or at the World Cup, this might be the calm before the storm. And there does seem to be a bit of attention being put on this upcoming World Cup. So there could be some event, but if there is something that goes down at the World Cup, then it's almost 100% going to be staged and scripted years in advance. And so I don't think anyone is going to actually die. I don't think there will be any real casualties. So if there's some sort of event that goes down at one of the World Cup games, the chance that it's scripted, like I said, probably 99.99999% that it's going to be staged. So if that was to happen, I would say, you guys, this is clearly a staged event, and I would do my best to break it down. So if anything was to go down, I would cover it and then break it down for you guys. And I would show the clips here live, and you guys could break it down along with me here live in the chat. So I would come to my conclusion most likely that it was just another scripted, staged event if anything was to go down. Whereas what Garrow is predicting is that there's going to be actual bloodshed, actual lives lost. So Garrow's predicting people are actually going to die in some sort of event tomorrow. So if it was a staged event, let's say like what I'm talking about at one of the soccer games, like where, let's say, there's a shooting at one of the World Cup games, does Garo get to take credit and say, oh, biblical beast of the sea, I told you? I don't think that counts. So just saying is all, like if there's some sort of thing that goes down at a World Cup game and it's a staged event, that doesn't mean that Garo gets credit. But perhaps you could give credit to the band Little Big and the song Lollybomb. Perhaps. Or perhaps you could give credit to Kim Jong-un and North Korea. Just give credit to whoever the hell you want to give credit to. Or don't give any damn credit at all. That's what I always say. And thank you, Nathaniel Arias, for the super chat, brother. I appreciate it. Glad to see you here tonight. All right. Old Fox says, Elvis will rise from the Pacific Ocean and seek his revengeance. Revengeance? That's like vengeance and revenge combined to one to make revengeance. Straight up, if Garo gets it right, like to the T, like if Elvis as some sort of creature comes out of the water and starts attacking Seattle, and then Trump gets a head wound, and then Elvis, biblical creature, goes into Trump, I will literally declare Garo my Lord and Savior and the biggest super genius ever known in the world. And I will memorize all the numbers on his little cue cards, on his note cards. Yeah, I'll memorize all of his note card numbers, and I will preacheth thy word of thy Garo, but only if Elvis comes out of the water and attacks Seattle tomorrow. All right. Now, like I said earlier, if a big tsunami comes in and wipes out Seattle tomorrow, that's not technically a biblical beast. All right. So a big, huge amount of water destroying Seattle, not exactly what I would consider a biblical beast, right? So I don't think that he would deserve credit if there's a tsunami tomorrow. Just saying. Or a staged nuke. So if there's a fake nuke attack tomorrow, I don't think Garo deserves credit for that either. The only way he gets credit is if a biblical beast actually causes people to die. So there has to be real lives lost in order for Garo to be right. He doesn't get to take credit for anything that's staged. All right. H.A. Machiavelli says, you don't do NBA script talk anymore. Well, sir, I would argue that my channel never really was a NBA script talk channel. And I've made a few videos talking about the magnets or magnetic technology, frequency technology, whatever it is, in the balls and the rims. I'm one of the few channels that made content about that technology and explained it in detail. So I have put out videos about how the NBA is rigged and scripted. And my latest video is a breakdown of the finals game 3. So I would argue that I never put out a video breaking down any one game from the NBA until just recently. So you actually just got NBA content from me. So I find it strange that you're saying I don't do NBA script talk when I just released an NBA video yesterday, and I don't usually do that. So there you go, bro. The channel never was an NBA script talk channel. Football's way more popular than the NBA. So during NFL season, I cover the NFL because I get guaranteed views. The algorithm actually pushes my videos when I talk about the NFL. They push it to new people. New people subscribe. It's the only time of year my channel gets subscribers and grows is during NFL season. And so because the content actually like brings in new viewers and gets guaranteed views, and there's people who are subscribed who love that content, I continue to break down the NFL. But the NBA is not anywhere near as popular as the NFL. So that's one of the big issues is the NBA is not even half as popular as the NFL. It's like maybe 1/6, maybe an eighth as popular as the NFL, maybe not even that. So there's not nearly as many people who give a shit about the NBA that who watch football, right? So that alone means I'm just going to get less views. So if I talk about the NBA being scripted, there's just not going to be as many people who care as me talking about the NFL being scripted. And it gets even worse if I start talking about other obscure sports. So if I start talking about, NASCAR is scripted or golf, now it's like less and less and smaller audiences each time, right? So that's the problem is all these sports with a betting line are scripted, but there's not really a huge audience who wants to hear about that for every single sport. So the most popular sport, the NFL, that's where there's the most people pissed off that the games appear to be fake. The most people get pissed off when their favorite team loses or the team who they bet on loses, and then they type in NFL rigged or NFL scripted, and then that's how they find me. So because the NFL is so much more popular, it's like just massively more popular than all the other leagues. It's like it behooves me to make that content. Whereas the NBA, the season is so long and there's 82 games. There's just too many damn games for every team. And I'd be saying the same thing over and over. Oh, look, he made a magnet shot. Oh, this player's left open for a magnet shot. Oh, look, they left this guy open for an easy 3-point magnet shot. Oh, they left him open again for another 3-point, right? So every video in the NBA that I make about a game being fake, it's basically going to be me repeating that same shit that I just said in my last video. Here's a guy being left open, magnet shot. Oh, look, they're going to pretend to try and block this shot, but they're going to purposely swat at the air and not play defense. So, and I'm going to be repeating the same stuff. It's not going to be as fun and interesting. So that's the problem is the NBA breakdowns. They would get old and repetitive, and the season is long, and there's so many games. Whereas the NFL, it's like a shorter season, and you have to wait all week long for the games, So anyway, so there's a big long answer for you, bro. You guys got to remember, I have a bunch of different types of subs here. There's people sub to this channel who don't give a shit about any of the scripted sports at all. And they want to hear more about me talking about scripted politics and scripted psychological operations. They like more of the conspiracy side. And then there's people who absolutely can't get enough of me breaking down sports and talking about how fake it is. Like there's guys who absolutely cannot get enough of my NFL breakdowns. They watch every single one and comment every single time, but they don't really care about these live streams or any of my other content. They don't want to hear about me talking about Trump being AI. So there's people who really like certain types of content that I make, but they don't like other types. And because this channel makes different types of content, I get different reactions from different people. And so you guys got to remember, in order for me to try and keep everyone happy, I got to put out the sports videos for the sports guys. I got to put out the conspiracy videos for the people who don't care about the sports. I got to do these live streams for the people who dig this sort of thing. And then, so it leads to me having different types of subscribers who are here for a different reason. So my channel is just different than all the other channels you see out there. Most YouTube channels, every thumbnail's the same and they have a niche. And so one of the reasons why my videos, every view count can range, and, a video can flop and the next video do well, the next video flops, because I talk about different stuff. My content changes and varies. And so a lot of channels you see out there, they talk about one thing and one thing only. And every single thumbnail looks exactly the same and talks about the same thing. So YouTube has tried to pigeonhole content creators into just making the same video over and over and have that be your niche. And your whole channel is about the one niche, and every single thumbnail is the same. And a lot of channels have massive success doing that. Every single thumbnail look exactly the same. Whereas to me, like, God damn, that's boring. I don't want to have every single thumbnail that I make be the exact same, right? So I make my own thumbnails and I come up with my own titles, and I don't use AI. And because I do my own thing, I pay the price. They bury my videos. I get the title wrong according to the algorithm. My thumbnail ain't cool enough, ain't catchy enough. So yeah, there's a lot of trendy shit that all these other channels are doing that I refuse to do. Like let AI make my thumbnails and shit. Let AI change how I look. There's YouTubers who use AI and make themselves look 10 years younger, get rid of all their wrinkles and blemishes and stuff in the thumbnail, and use AI to create the text in the background and everything. Whereas I'm still like making mine, sitting and actually designing my own thumbnails like a dumbass, I guess. So yeah, to my own detriment, I do things the old-fashioned way, and I'm a real guy. And I hardly ever use AI at all for anything. All right. I don't know why I went off on that big tangent, but I did. Totally just went off on a big tangent. All right. Rex James with a donation. And sorry if I missed your super chats, guys. I'm going to catch up on all of them right now. Rex James says, Jake, have you ever looked into older conspiracies, like how Rockefeller got oil to labeled as fossil byproducts, or old world structures, and we supposedly constructed them in time frames they say? Yeah, for sure, man. So, if you go back and look at, the pyramids, any video about the pyramids, you got to scratch your head and think like, okay, how old are those really? And so once I sat and thought about it and watched several different videos, and then came to my own conclusion that like you can make rock cement, like a primitive form of rock cement. So if you can just have a wet block of rock cement and then it dries and then looks like this big heavy rock block, then you can be like, oh yeah, they move these big heavy blocks with ropes and pulleys, or they use this ancient technology to move around all these rocks. So you can lie to people when really all they did was use like rock cement and then form these wet blocks on top of each other. So if you think about it from a rock cement standpoint and forming these, pyramids, forming the Sphinx, forming these buildings with moldings, right? Then suddenly you don't need the slaves with the ropes and pulleys somehow getting these 1,000-pound blocks of rock hoisted up to the top of the pyramid. So once I sat and thought about it, wet rock cement being formed into these blocks and into these different sites like Stonehenge and whatnot. There's like pictures, old black and white pictures of Stonehenge being constructed with tractors and cement. So I feel like almost all of history before I was born is up for grabs. The problem is I can't go back and like verify for sure. So when it comes to like old buildings and how they made these old intricate buildings, at the time they said they made them. I have no way to verify it. So I'm always stuck going, okay, I don't believe what mainstream history tells me, but there's no way for me to really figure out when those buildings were built for sure, how those buildings were built for sure, because I wasn't there. So I don't know if like some of these intricately created buildings were put here for us, and then humans were zapped into existence with these buildings already there, or whether humans did build these buildings with the assistance of some sort of technology that's being hidden from us. So when I go back and I watch those videos like you're talking about, I'm left with more questions than answers. That's the shitty thing, is that all those like old history, mud fossil, Tartaria, old building, World Fair videos, all that stuff, I'm always left scratching my head going, I wonder if that's true. I wonder what really happened. I don't believe what was in my history books that I learned in school, but I also don't know if these guys on the internet talking about this shit are any more closer to the truth than what they said in the school books. There's no way for me to go back and validate any of this for sure, you know? Like, how do I know for sure when they made the Sphinx and the pyramids, right? How do I know for sure? So, and as far as what you're talking about with Rockefeller and some of these, you know, old oil tycoons and whatever, you know, I don't even know if these guys existed the way they said they did. Maybe they could have this backstory with a character, you know, that never was real to begin with. Like they have this whole backstory about Tesla, but I don't ever know if there was a real Tesla, right? So even stuff like that, like old dudes who supposedly invented stuff, or they were these super rich elitist tycoons from back in the 1700s or 1800s or early 1900s. I don't fucking know. Anything that happened before I was born that I wasn't there to verify. I don't know. It's up for grabs, man. And now that AI can go back and edit videos here on YouTube, shit, man, the history's being erased, right? You can go back and edit old videos here on YouTube through the use of AI and slowly erase the past, right? All right. Nathaniel Arias says, also, Jake, hope you are doing great in life and health, my man. Appreciate the hard work you do. Could you do one Stanley Cup's final script video? Man, you're not the first person to ask, and I've said this before. I never watched hockey when I was a kid. My favorite sport was the NFL, and then my second favorite was baseball, and then and then a distant third was like NBA, and I would only care about the NBA when it was like the playoffs and finals, and I would only casually watch when I was a kid, you know. So when I was a kid, everybody liked Michael Jordan. When he was on the Bulls, everyone loved Michael Jordan. Like everyone claimed to be a Bulls fan, you know? So, you know, it's so different, you know, now. It's like I don't give a shit about basketball, and I only covered it because there was controversy. So because there was a controversial game last night and there were Knicks fans bitching, I thought, all right, I'll cover the NBA and actually do a NBA breakdown video since I've never made one before. So I gave it a go. So I knew at least a little bit about basketball because I used to watch when I was a kid a little bit. The problem with hockey, bro, is I never watched hockey. Like I maybe watched like, I don't know, an hour total in my whole life collectively. If I took all the hockey I've ever watched, maybe I've watched an hour's worth of hockey. So I don't really know all the rules. I don't know any current players. I just don't know shit about hockey. So I would be not very good at breaking it down. I don't think I would be the best guy to make the most compelling points while showing the footage. So I feel like somebody who grew up watching hockey, who's disgusted by how fake it is, who can verbalize it on camera, that would be the guy to do it. So So here's a calling to anyone out there watching right now. There's a job opening for the hockey is rigged guy. I'm just not the guy. I never watched the sport. I don't care about the sport. And I personally think that if I made a NHL Stanley Cup rigged video, I think it would probably do worse than my last video about the NBA, which didn't do that great. So I have a feeling if I made a video about hockey being scripted, not that many people would care, which would lead to not that many people clicking, which would lead to the algorithm not recommending it, which would lead to me getting punished for making a fucking hockey video that nobody really wants to watch. So I know there are some guys out there who dig hockey. So Nathaniel, here's your chance. You can become the hockey is rigged guy, and I will support you and recommend your channel. So you can make the hockey is rigged video and I'll promote it. I'll show it here on my channel. How's that? You do a hockey is rigged breakdown and do it like I do, but just do it with hockey and put your own spin on it, and then post that on your channel, and then I'll show it here on your behalf. I'll show it on my channel. How's that sound? I'm all for exposing the NFL, the NHL. I'm just not the right guy for the job. And the same goes for soccer. I just never watched soccer as a sport. And since I was a big NFL fan, I just never had any interest to sit and watch a whole soccer game. So I feel like me trying to break down how fake a soccer game is, that really, like, I just wouldn't be the right guy. I feel like somebody who loved the game and played it, and who's really disgusted with how fake it's become since the advent of online gambling. Somebody who could vocalize how fake it is and what's going on, and really nail all the points. I'm just not the right guy for the job. So yeah, because I didn't watch those sports, I won't be able to break it down the same way I break down the NFL. Right? So I played football. I played baseball. I even played a little bit of basketball with my friends at school during recess. So I know about those sports and can break them down. But I'm a California boy. I never lived in a climate where kids skated and played ice hockey. So it was just never a game we played. And I always thought that soccer was boring to watch on TV. So I just never got into soccer or hockey. So I have had several requests for me to do it. And I always say the same thing. I'm not the right guy for the job. I don't have a passion for it. The reason why I have a passion for exposing the NFL was because that was my favorite sport. And I watched it a lot. And I was a diehard fanboy. And it broke my fucking heart to find out that all those players were faking it. And then I wasted years of my life rooting for that shit. Living and dying with the Miami Dolphins for years just to find out it was all fake. See, that's why there's more passion when I break down an NFL play. Whereas I never sat and had my heart ripped out of my chest watching a hockey game or a soccer match. So I can't explain it in the same way. There you go. So there's the long, detailed answer for you, sir. Lint Away Air Duct Cleaning says, my niche is lint. We know, bro. You are the king of lint cleaning, right? In fact, as far as I'm concerned, you are the #1 lint cleaning company in the world, and it's not even close. And no, you did not pay me to say that and endorse you. This is my real opinion, you guys. Lint Away Duct Cleaning is by far the best duct cleaning service this side of the Mississippi. And I'm not biased. I have no reason to lie. I love that joke. It never gets old. Yeah, I would figure soccer would be super easy to rig. Like if you're going to have a match where you want the outcome to be 1-0. Like let's say you just want to rig this soccer game and you're going to have the underdog upset the favorite 1-0. You just have the teams kick the ball back and forth and purposely not try and make a goal. And then all of the shots on the goal, you make sure to put it right where the goalie can get it. So you make it be a defensive struggle on purpose all game long. And then, of course, in the final minutes, you can have the underdog team. Miraculously, one guy breaks free and kicks the game-winning goal, right? So that's as easy as setting a live betting trap in soccer. You got a good team. You got a team that people think is shitty and is for sure going to lose. And, oh, it's 0-0. Oh, but the good team at some point is going to prevail. So they get people to bet on the team that they perceive to be better. You got a 0-0 game where they just kick the ball back and forth. People keep betting on the team expected to win. And then, in the final seconds, the underdog kicks that one goal. And all you need is the goalie to just dive and miss that one last goal, So, yeah, it would be easy, I would reckon, to rig a soccer game. And the field is really, really big. And so players can just not run at full speed, purposely kick passes to the other team, purposely pass the ball back and forth and waste a bunch of time without trying to score. I mean, it's pretty basic stuff. So I get the way that they would rig a soccer game. It's just I'm not the best guy to explain it because I never played the sport and I never learned all the rules and stuff. So I get how easy it would be to rig a soccer game, even if I'm not the best guy to explain it. Char 5 says the Spurs blew a 30-point lead and lost. Talk about rigoroni. So I haven't seen what happened in tonight's game because I've been streaming. Oh, okay. The Knicks won 107-106. All right. So anybody wondering what happened with the finals? Knicks go up 3-1. They win this one 107-106. I'm not sure what the spread was, but look how close. Just happened to come down to 1 point. How about that? All right. So I'll go watch the replay of this game, of the finals game after the stream, and then perhaps tomorrow, if I can spot enough phony plays to make it worth my while, perhaps I'll put out another finals breakdown video. So I did put out a finals breakdown video for the first time ever yesterday, and I got several requests to continue breaking down all the rest of the finals games. So I'll go take a look at the highlights, and if I can find 6, 7, maybe 10 really good examples of these players playing fake basketball on purpose, perhaps I'll have a game 4 breakdown for you guys tomorrow. All right. That's minus 2.5. All right, so the Knicks won but didn't cover the spread. So when you see these odds makers, get within like a point and a half of the total points scored, and point and a half of how much the favorite won by, right? And it's like, oh yeah, these odds makers just happen to know exactly about how many points these two teams are going to score, right? In a totally random sports event where anything could happen, right? And anyone could get injured, and anyone could have a bad game or whatever, right? Like, oh, it just so happens it comes down to this 1-point game and the Spurs blowing a 30-point lead. Oh, but the players aren't involved. No, Jake, the players aren't involved. It was all the refs. And the players had no idea that they were manipulating the game with the refs. Holden says, yes, but people bet big on the Spurs during halftime to win outright because of the lead. That's right, Holden. Live betting trap for sure. So all you got to do is have one team build a big lead, and then a bunch of people who are watching live, even though the odds are terrible and you're not going to make that much money if that team goes on to win, there's still people who look at that as like free money. They're like, oh, the Spurs are up by 30 points. Yeah, I'll go ahead and bet 500 or $1,000 on the Spurs plus 5,000 or minus 5,000. So they'll bet like, a minus 5, minus 6,000 on a team that's up by 20, 30 points. And then that team will go on to blow the lead and then blow the game. And then those people will lose their minds. It happens all the time. So it doesn't matter what sport it is. It's like if you want to set a live betting trap, you just have one team winning big the whole way. And then in the last few minutes, everything changes and goes the opposite direction. And every little thing that the losing team needs to have happen to come back and wins, it all happens. And miraculously, the underdog will come back and steal the game at the last second. And so all the people who bet big while one team was winning by a lot, they get upset. That's why they call it an upset, because they lose a lot of money. They freak out, lose their mind, and they get upset. Meanwhile, that's the whole point of the sporting event taking place, was to trick people into betting their money, putting their hard-earned money on the line, so that they lose it in this scripted game designed exactly to do just that, extract the money from the sports bettors. Lintaway Air Duct Cleaning says that comeback saved Spurs fans' lives. Saved their lives. But they blew the game, right? So shouldn't that, since they lost the game, shouldn't that mean that the fans' lives are nearly over because their team's one game away from losing the series? Now, let's be honest, though. These fans' lives are really a joke, right? They don't actually have a life. If they're spending big gobs of money to go attend NBA Finals games, right? Anyone who attends an NBA Finals game in person and pays all that money to go watch some scripted sporting event and then cheers as if it's like for real, they don't really have a life. Their life is a joke. Their life is meaningless. It doesn't matter. So who really cares about Spurs fans' lives or any fanboys' lives? As far as I'm concerned, fanboys' lives don't matter. You know, you may have heard of Black Lives Matter. You may have heard of White Lives Matter. But what I say, sports fans' lives don't matter. Fanboys' lives don't matter. All right. I don't know what I'm trying to say. JBG says, I actually turned off the game to come watch your live. I guess I missed a heck of a scripted comeback. Laughed my ass off. Well, there's some more games still. You know, it might, go a few more games. So there's at least one more scripted game that you can watch. And you can always go back and watch the highlights. I would argue that you made the right decision. Coming here and watching my unscripted live stream is way cooler and way more of an intelligent choice to make than going and watching some mindless scripted NBA game, even if it was a good game. You're just watching a bunch of trained actors with the assistance of technology put a ball into a hoop, right? Whereas here, you're watching a unscripted comedic genius perform life-changing art. All right. Gotta love the way I just kissed my own ass right there. All right. Wow, very generous donation coming in right now from Suzette Ann. She says, this is in honor of your new lava lamp. Your lava lamps look super cool and colorful and look good with your light display. Thank you for all the laughs, good impressions, and your breakdowns. Suzette, that is very sweet and kind of you, and a very generous super chat. I want to thank you, and I'm going to blow you a big kiss right now. Mwah! Thank you very much, Suzette Ann. You are a sweetheart. And as far as the story with the new lava lamp is concerned, it was left out on the sidewalk. So there was this lava lamp, a ice chest, and some camping chairs that were just left out on the sidewalk, like free, basically, for anyone to just take. And so I was walking my dog, and I looked at the ice chest, and I thought, dang, that's a decent ice chest. It was like an igloo ice chest with a handle and wheels, and has this, and there was no cracks or anything. And so I was like, dang, that's a pretty good ice chest. And it's a better ice chest than one of the ice chests I have. So I was like, shit, I'll take that. So every once in a while, people get rid of decent shit, you know? So this is one of those examples where like the ice chest caught my eye, and I was like, shit, I'll take it. And then sitting right next to it was this gigantic lava lamp here. And it's huge, right? Like you might not be able to notice how huge it is, but check it out. Ugh. It's heavy as fuck. Look, see? Just to show you how big it is. Look, it's bigger than my freaking head. So this big ass monstrosity was just sitting there on the sidewalk. And I was like, I wonder if the lava lamp still works. So I put it in my van, and I brought it home, and then plugged it in, and the light came on, The problem is so far, I've had it turned on for like, I don't know, over 3 hours now. I turned it on like an hour before this stream, and now I've been streaming for like 2 hours and 45 minutes. So like 3 hours, 45 minutes or so, this thing's been on, and it's not bubbling. So the red one next to it, that one's on and it's bubbling like it's supposed to. But this one, the big one, isn't bubbling. So I'm going to leave it turned on all night. And if it doesn't bubble up, then perhaps it's not getting hot enough. Maybe I keep my office too cool. So I don't know. So we'll see. The light comes on, and it should heat up that stuff inside and cause it to bubble, but it's not, at least not yet. So if I leave it on all night and then tomorrow it hasn't started bubbling, then perhaps it's not doing what it's supposed to do. And maybe that's why it was left out on the sidewalk. But I'm hoping at some point it starts bubbling and working correctly. So yeah, one of those things that was free, and I thought, you know what? When I run my streams, I'll put the big ass lava lamp next to the smaller one and see how it looks. And if I like it, I'll keep it. And if I don't like it, I'll just go put it back out on the sidewalk. So yeah, it might be here next week, might be gone next week. It'll all depend on whether I can get it to work, right? Because right now it's not working, right? So there you go. That's the story with the new lava lamp. One of those things where I went on a dog walk, came home with a gigantic lava lamp that I wasn't expecting to find in an ice chest. All right. And Suzette, and again, thank you for the super generous super chat. You know, I'm almost 3 hours into this live stream, and then you come through with this very generous super chat and these kind words. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and you've also been a longtime supporter for a long time. Thank you, Suzette Ann, for all your kind words and support over all these years. Linked away, duct cleaning with another super chat, said UFC White House this Sunday. Oh yeah, June 14th. We're supposed to get the first ever White House UFC fights. And of course, the UFC is rigged and scripted. So we're going to have scripted fights taking place at the White House. So yeah, that's going to be different, right? So I'm wondering if there'll be any sort of shenanigans, scripted shenanigans that go down, right? Or if it'll just be like a night of regular fights, you know? Like I wonder if they're going to have any of these fights, you know, where both fighters trade a bunch of shots and it turns into a bloody mess. Like, are they really going to let these fighters like have like bloody wars? Or are they going to keep these like quick to where the fighters don't get hurt and they can get them over with nice and easy? So you can have two fighters just kind of wrestle, and then one guy like, oh, gets caught in an arm bar, tap, and then nobody gets busted open, nobody gets hurt. One guy has his arm raised, and that's it, right? They wrestled for a few minutes, and then one guy's like, oh, ow, my arm, tap, 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 right? Or you can have scripted fights where both guys trade shots and beat the shit out of each other. So UFC fighters, even in a scripted fight where the outcome is predetermined, they go into it knowing that they're going to get hit for real. You know, you can purposely throw shots at a guy's head and not his chin, and purposely trade shots with a guy and not try and knock him out, and still get busted open and bleeding without trying to knock out your opponent. So they can script a match where both guys go into it and willingly beat each other's ass, but one of them knows in the third round he's going to be the one who wins. And so you can have, you know, both guys beat each other's ass, and then in the third round, one guy just stumbles and makes it look like he's hurt, and then they have the fight go one way or the other based on, you know, one guy pretending to be hurt in the final round. So there's so many different ways for these UFC fights to be scripted. And so you can have the fighters actually beat each other's ass, or you can have them go in there and, within 10 seconds, like, oh, I got caught in a guillotine. Tap, 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 tap. That's it. And then they're smiling, hardly even broke a sweat. You raise one guy's hand, money changes hands on the sports betting apps that quick, right? So in the UFC, you can have a like bloody, brutal brawl, or you can have one guy just be like, ow, my arm. Tap, tap, tap. It's over. You win, right? So yeah, we'll see whether they have, the Ronda Rousey quick tap out type endings, or whether they have like an actual like bloody brawl breakout in any of the fights. We'll see. I heard there was talk that they might cancel the event, so we'll see if it even goes down. I used to be a big fan of the UFC back when I thought the fights were all legit and real. So not only was I an NFL fanboy back when I was in my 20s and early 30s, but yeah, I used to be a fan of the UFC, and I used to go to bars and pay a cover charge to see the pay-per-views. So I remember paying a $10 cover charge many years ago to watch Nate Diaz take on Conor McGregor. And then it was like the first time they fought, and Nate Diaz won by an upset. He was like a major underdog. And since I live in California and I live near where Nate Diaz is from, the crowd was like 90% for Diaz. And so the place just went fucking ape shit when Diaz beat McGregor. And I remember like, yeah! Like losing my mind like a typical fanboy. So I know what it's like to be fully invested in a UFC fight and pay $10 at a bar to watch the pay-per-view. And then in the main event, like my favorite fighter from Stockton, Nate Diaz beats Conor McGregor, who was like the big, huge favorite at the time. And everybody hated Conor McGregor, and he had this huge fan base over in Ireland. So there was a time where like I was a typical fanboy, and now I don't have any interest to watch any of the UFC fights. Zero intrigue at all. I don't know hardly. I can't even name any fighters anymore. Right? Like I know Ronda Rousey recently had a comeback shitty fight that she won, but like I can't tell you any current UFC fighters really. So I lost all connection with the sport. So that's one of those sports that like there was a time where I was a typical diehard fanboy, losing my mind at the bar. And now, yeah, there's no chance I'm going to pay a cover charge and sit in a bar and watch a scripted UFC fight. No how, no way. I like to think I've come a long way in my life, I'd like to think that the guy I used to be, is just a completely different person than who I am now, sitting before you explaining this. If you'd have told me back when I was sitting at the bar watching UFC pay-per-views that one day I would be sitting here when I'm in my 40s explaining how I don't give a shit about the UFC, I probably wouldn't have believed you. Suffocation Vacation says, hey, Jake, what's up, Suffocation Vacay? Nice to see you. Suzette Ann said, I think the UFC fight is going to happen. They built that big claw on the White House lawn. Yeah, I heard rumors that some of the fighters were going to pull out and that they might cancel it, but yeah, if it's this close to going down and it hasn't been canceled yet, then yeah, it's probably going to happen. I Negan says, You know, people are so dumbed down that they don't even question the UFC as having an event at the White House. Exactly. It's all going to be 100% legitimate fights. And all the fighters are going to be trying their hardest on the lawn of the White House. Of course, because that's where that belongs. Bloody, fierce hand-to-hand combat belongs on the lawn of the White House. Of course. And you're just going to let those brutal combatants go out there and swing at each other and try and knock each other's block off. And whatever happens, happens, right? And they're going to air the whole thing live for everyone to see for free because they love us so much. You know, in celebration of America, the 250th birthday celebration of our beloved country, we're going to watch some brutal combatants beat the living shit out of each other on the White House lawn, of course. And it's going to be free because they appreciate our patriotism so much. Of course. And I'm proud to be an American where my UFC is free. And I can't wait to watch those dudes beat the shit out of each other on my big screen TV. God bless the USA. All right. All right. I've been on here for almost 3 hours, and Ralphie is looking at me, and he's giving me the look. See? He's giving me the look. That's you, Ralph. That's you right there. That's a Ralphie. Is that a Ralph? Is that Ralph? That's you, Ralph. He's giving me the look, y'all. Yeah. So that means I got to wrap it up, take Ralph out for a walk. And I'm getting a little hungry. And usually 3 hours is about when I wrap things up. So I guess we should go ahead and wrap up another Wacky Wild Wake 'em Up Wednesday. We'll put a bow on this one, call it a night, and I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday evening. Some of you guys are already into Thursday morning. So we're going to be finding out very shortly whether or not there's a big attack on Seattle. And if there is, then I'll report on it. And if there isn't, well, I told you so. So again, my prediction, Big Nothing Burger coming your way tomorrow. All right. So with that said, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. And thank you very much to every person who donated tonight. We had a ton of super chats come in and a lot of generous super chats tonight. So thank you to all the super chats and all the donations and all of the gifted Jake the Awake memberships as well. And to all you guys who didn't donate, I appreciate you as well for being here. And I'm going to go back and watch the replay later, and I'll read all of the chats that I didn't get a chance to read while I was doing this stream. So one of the things I like to do is go back and watch my own replay and see how it all went and see who was here and who said what. And I do read all of these comments. So if you think that like your comment isn't being seen, I go back and I personally read the comments so that I can see who showed up and who said what. I like to see, who exactly shows up here and what exactly is said. What did I miss while I was running my big mouth, right? And I miss a lot of comments, right? There's so many comments that come in. It's impossible for me to read them all. So when I watch the replay, I actually do sit and see all the people who showed up and see who said what. So with that said, thank you guys for showing up to another one of my streams and participating here on the Jake the Awake channel. on the only unscripted live truth and comedy podcast of its kind. And with that said, another wacky wake 'em up wild Wednesday is in the books. So I'm going to get off here, and I'll see you guys in the next video or the next live stream, whichever comes first. And you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace out. Much love. Take care. Good night. And bye-bye.